Hey guys, what's up? It's 8-Bit Eric, and point and click adventure games are some of my most favorite games of all time. You got Maniac Mansion, just to name some classic ones, Skull Island, all sorts of stuff like that. And then on the Switch, you had things most recently like Thimbleweed Park, and now there's one called Truberbrook, which is what we're going to take a look today. This is a point and click adventure that has you solving a mystery in a small little town called Truberbrook. It's take place in the 60s, so it's far out, man, with all that stuff and everything. But I did like its art presentation and everything like that, so it caught my eye, and I wanted to find out, is Truberbrook worth buying for the Nintendo Switch, guys? So if you're brand new to the channel, feel free to throw a subscription, and let's go ahead and begin today's video. So Truberbrook, as I mentioned, a point-and-click style adventure game. If you've played one, it's just like that. You find items on the screen that you point at, and then you can interact with them. You can look at them, you can grab them, you can even use other objects with them and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty standard in regards to how a point-and-click game works in that regard. So again, I mentioned it does take place in the late 60s. I think 1967 is when this game takes place. You play as a writer or a physicist. He's kind of putting together like a paper and a thesis and everything, and throughout the story he kind of records what's going on and everything. Now the game kind of starts off innocently enough. There's a mystery that comes to fruition. You're staying at a weird little bed and breakfast type of thing, and then a cable car ends up not working anymore, and there's like a weird guy that kind of takes your paperwork and all sorts of stuff in regards to what exactly is going on in this town. Something does not meet the normalcy of life. So I'm not going to go ahead and go into plot details or anything like that, but I will say it was actually a very gripping narrative. I had a lot of fun checking it out. The characters and everything, like the voice acting and everything, is really good, and it actually is nice to listen to. I know a lot of people really don't care for certain things like having to read a lot of text heavy stuff and everything, but thankfully the voice acting in this game is pretty spot on. Now, I enjoyed it. It has a weird, creepy vibe to it. A lot of the characters, the personalities, the NPCs that you meet just kind of have this weird, mischievous charm about them, especially like the hotel lady and the little kid in the hotel, and just people that you run into in the area. And it's kind of like a real barren type of town. You go around, you meet people like an old man, and you have to solve puzzles in order for them to talk, to get to know you, things like that, and give you advice to how to complete and further progress and reach the area. So there's a few chapters in the game. I've actually gotten pretty far really quickly because the game is really short. Actually, in all honesty, this game is actually very, very short, but it still was an enjoyable playthrough. There's certain like areas and stuff of the game that have you just fixated in one area. So you begin in a certain area, you solve the puzzles, then the next chapter has you in a different area, you solve those puzzles, and then the third one has you in a different area. And it's everything from like the town of Truberbrook to a cave where there's like a mine shaft and everything, to a loony bin hospital that you end up getting captured in, and the doctor starts to like test you and keep you captive basically until you answer the test correctly. And then there's like a mysterious cave, and I don't want to go into too much detail again, but you find out that there's like a computer and some kind of like back history that goes on that was set up throughout several years in Truberbrook that has to do with the mystery and stuff. So all in all, it's a pretty standard point and click. Like I mentioned, there's not much to it, to be completely honest. I believe this game came out not too long ago on PC. I'm not sure if it's on the other platforms or anything, but it is good for a quick playthrough. You're going to play this game one time, and you're probably not going to find any incentive to go back to it, if I'm going to be completely honest. And that's like how it is with a lot of point and click games. There's no like multiple endings. There's no multiple paths. I mean, in regards to like the talking to NPCs, maybe you can answer different questions and stuff, but I didn't see any choices, any kind of consequences, any kind of like plot devices that might give you a different type of gameplay or anything. Didn't seem like there was much in way of achievements either, which I would have liked to seen that. I would have liked to seen a little bit more expanded extras with the gameplay, but overall the game was pretty linear, pretty straightforward, not too many branching paths, not too many different options and stuff to do, which is kind of sad. But this is an indie game, and a lot of times indie games of the point and click variety are just strictly, you know, point A to point B, and this was an example of a game that really followed that much. Honestly, I was entertained by the narrative again, so that was a plus. You know, the kookiness and the craziness and zaniness of the situations and everything did keep me interested long enough to want to play through. But I can't see myself, honestly, going back to this game after completely playing it. So it's hard to recommend. Honestly, if you like point and click games, you're probably going to like this one, but it's not as immersive or inventive as previous ones. You know, it doesn't have a feel of even a Thimbleweed Park, which was freaking amazing and felt like there was so much personality with some of the characters and stuff. You really don't have much in way of switching characters. You play as one single character, and there's like 5 chapters. So the length compared to something like a Thimbleweed Park or even a Maniac Mansion might not be completely there. I know some people that are old school aficionados can breeze through Maniac Mansion rather quickly, but even then there still is a fair amount of content and options there. There's like different alternative endings, different consequences, game overs, different ways to do things and stuff like that. There's not much of that in Truberbrook. I'm getting my game confused. I'm thinking of Thimbleweed Park, Maniac Mansion. I'm getting everything cross multiplied. I mean, again, I don't think this game offers much new or innovative in the point and click genre, but if you are a fan of those types of games, you might really want to enjoy and sit down and play it, sink your teeth into it. And if you're not, I would advise to probably move on and check something else in the book, you know, in the eShop, because this is not really groundbreaking. It's not anything that's new to go home and write about. So I would probably say Truberbrook is an average game. I would probably rank it right there at a 7. You know, it's not bad at all by any means at all. It's a solid point and click game. It does its job. It has very beautiful graphics. I mean, the main selling point for me on this is just the way that it looked. It has very whimsical looking graphics, real artsy stuff, almost Pixar-ish in a way, with a little bit of a Tim Burton vibe to it. The backgrounds, the character models, everything about the level designs and, you know, the stages and everything and the area and the atmosphere just flows really good. It looks really nice and neat. It has that type of look that really gives off a real mysterious vibe and everything. But as far as depth and everything with the plot and the gameplay mechanics and stuff, it leaves a little bit to be desired. I don't think it reached its full potential, guys. The point and click genre has been around for quite some time, and games are still being made in it and stuff, so it's always good to see what people could come up with next. And I just feel that they played it a little bit too safe in regards to Truberbrook. There was areas and stuff that I would like to see established a little bit more, like the mine shaft that you go in on the mine cart itself, but it didn't hit the mark completely. It felt really like they were just playing it safe in regards to the game. It was bare bones, a plot that carried you just enough, but the gameplay mechanics, the puzzle solving, everything in the game just was not, didn't wow me enough, if that makes any sense in that regard. It just felt like they were really playing it safe. You know, the opening of the game felt like it had a lot of potential, you know, the prologue, everything like that. And then once you get into it, honestly, there was really nothing new in regards to what this game was. You know, I wanted to see something brand new that changed what point and click games were for me and stuff, and it didn't. So I don't know if that's something to really hold against a game or not, but in my opinion, taking into account whether you should buy it or not, you know, there's better point and click games on the Nintendo Switch, like Thimbleweed Park, for example. I think I would recommend that over Truberbrook. I'm just saying. So with that, I don't think I could recommend this as a must-have. Only if you are into point and clicks, I would say give it a look-see. So again, on the 8-bit Eric game grading scale, I would probably give Truberbrook a 7. So it's not bad, but it's not really groundbreaking, guys. And honestly, that's it for the review today, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. As always, if you are brand new to the channel, feel free to throw a subscription. And yeah, don't forget to comment and like, dislike on the way out, guys. I will see you on the next video. Have a great day. Peace out.
Artsy stuff, almost Pixar-ish.
Consider supporting 8-bit Eric on Patreon for just $1 a month. Link below in the description.